Yeah, I think now it is audible. Hello? Hello? Now it not audible. Why?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay. Good morning to all. So in the last lecture, we had discussed about the rectifier circuits, half-wave rectifier, and also in the full-wave rectifier, we had discussed about center tapped full-wave rectifier, and also we had derived some equations, that is the DC current, RMS current, DC voltage, average DC voltage, RMS input voltage, and efficiency, rectifier efficiency, regulation. So we have discussed all for the okay. So all are discussed for the half-wave rectifier and as well as full-wave rectifier. Full-wave rectifier in the case of center tapped full-wave rectifier. So the next one is bridge rectifier. So the main disadvantage of the center tapped full-wave rectifier is choosing of the exact center point for the secondary winding is difficult. Okay, so we have to choose the tapping at the center of the secondary winding. So it is difficult, and the cost of this transformer is also high. Okay, uh, and designing of the designing of the transformer is somewhat difficult. Okay, so to avoid such things, we are going to use another type of the full wave rectifier, that is called bridge rectifier. So the construction of the here in this case we use the 4 diodes, whereas in the center type of full wave rectifier we use only 2 diodes. Here 4 diodes. So we will connect in this way. Okay, so we will apply the AC supply at the primary of the transformer and we will get the secondary voltage at the secondary winding, and that secondary winding is applied to the bridge form. This is this formation is called as bridge form of the bridge. Okay, like for rhombus type diodes are connected in the 4. Okay, so when see here. So this is the when we apply the AC input voltage to this bridge circuit, how the output will be obtained. So that we will see. So this is the transformer. We will apply the AC input voltage. So we will get the step down voltage around 12 volts or 9 volts at the secondary winding. Okay. So at the across A and B, we will get the input voltage from the transformer. So that input voltage is applied as input for the this um, bridge rectifier. Okay, so combination of the bridge rectifier. So if you observe that, if we apply the positive half cycle, so for AC input signal we have positive half cycle and negative half cycles. Sinusoidal signal is having positive and negative. Positive half cycle and negative half cycle. Suppose consider that we are applying a positive half cycle. Okay, so when we apply positive half cycle, so the output of the secondary winding is also positive, and this is the negative. Okay, so with respect to positive, this is the positive and this becomes as the negative. Okay, so the same voltage is applying for the bridge circuit. Then what happens? So the diode, here it is connected, this becomes as negative, I mean reverse bias, and this diode D1 is forward bias and D2 is forward bias. Okay, and remaining 2 diodes will be reverse biased. So actually it is this the one diode, and this is the another diode, and this is the here we will apply the input voltage V in. Okay, so across these two terminals we will apply the input voltage. Okay, so suppose we are applying some positive half cycle. Okay, so when the positive half cycle is applied, what happens? This is the positive and this is the negative. Okay, so when the positive voltage is applied, so the positive terminal is connected to
సార్ అది బ్లాక్ బాక్స్ లో వచ్చి కవర్ చేసేస్తుంది సార్ స్క్రీన్ ప్రెజెంటేషన్ అంతా.
Okay, so now it is clear.
ఓకే సార్ ప్రెజెంట్ బాగానే కాపాడుతుంది.
నేను ఇక్కడ సర్క్యూట్ డ్రా చేశాను, చూసారా?
సర్క్యూట్ వచ్చింది సార్.
ఇంకేమైనా ఉందా, ప్రాబ్లం ఉందా ఇక్కడ?
ఒక టైంలో అది స్క్వేర్ టైప్ లో బ్లాక్ బాక్స్ వచ్చి కవర్.
ఓకే, అలా వస్తే ఏం చేస్తారంటే జస్ట్
ప్రెజెంట్ బాగానే ఉంది.
Okay, okay, so when the positive half cycle is applied, this terminal becomes as positive and this terminal becomes as a negative. So with respect to this terminal, we will find out the current direction. Okay, so the current will be flows in this way. So coming to here, this terminal becomes as positive, and with respect to this point, this is the negative. Okay, so for coming to this diode, this is the diode 1, this is the diode 2, this is the, assume that this is the 3, and this is the 4. Okay, so coming to this point, this diode is positive terminal is connected to diode D2 positive terminal. So then this diode will become as forward bias. When the diode is forward bias means it will conduct the current. Okay, so coming to this point, this is negative, and then this is the N terminal, and we are applying positive. So then this is a reverse bias. This becomes as reverse bias. So that's why this diode will not connect. So the current will be flows in this way. So after reaching here, this diode is also in the reverse bias. This is because positive terminal. This is entire is positive terminal. So again, the current will be flows through this resistor RL. Okay, and flows in this way. Okay, and after reaching this point, again this is the positive terminal. So this is the positive terminal, and it will comes to in this way and reaches to negative. Okay, so like this in the positive half cycle, D2 and D3 diodes will be forward bias, and the current will be flows in this manner. Okay, so and D1 and D4 are off. D1 D4 is off, D2 D3 is on. D2 D3 are on, and the current will be flows from D2 through resistor RL. RL is the load resistor, and it will flows through D3 and reaches the negative terminal. So like this, under the forward bias, under the positive half cycle, the current will flows in this way. And whatever maybe the signal is present here at the input side, that input voltage is appears across the resistor RL. So that is V out, output voltage. Okay. So this is the representation of the current direction when the positive half cycle. Now consider the negative half cycle is applied. Negative half cycle. Okay. So when the negative half cycle is applied, when the negative half cycle is applied, it means the input is, this one is positive becomes as negative, and this will becomes as positive. So this terminal becomes as negative and this terminal becomes as positive. So then we are going to, this is negative terminal is applied for the diode D2. This will becomes as negative to positive terminal. So then this becomes as reverse bias. Okay. So negative terminal is connected to negative of the D1. Okay. Then this becomes as on, that is forward bias. So negative terminal is connected to negative of the PN junction diode. Then this becomes as conducts. Okay. And from this point, from the positive point of view, you will see. So this is the positive terminal. From the positive terminal, this voltage is connected to positive side of the D4. So this diode will be forward bias and D3 is reverse bias. So D4 is forward bias. That's why this diode will be conducts. The current will be flows through this point. And coming to here, this is the negative and the applied voltage is positive. This diode D2 is off. Diode D2 is off. No current will be flows. Okay. And the current should be flows through the resistor RL and moves to, coming to here, D1 is forward bias and D3 is reverse bias. Okay. Previously it is reverse bias. That's why the current does not flow through this. Okay. And D1 is forward bias and the current will be reaches to negative. So in the negative half cycle or remaining half of the negative half cycle, diode D4 and D1 are conducts, and D3 and D2 and D3 are off. Okay. So like this, the current will be flows through this resistor RL, and the output will be available at the output of the resistor, load resistance. So in a positive half cycle, two diodes will be on and the other two diodes will be off. In the negative half cycle, other two diodes will be on and first two diodes will be off. So in any diodes will be on, the direction of the current flowing is the same. So this is the shown here. So when the positive terminal is applied, okay. So depending upon the diodes, the diode variations, it will be given. Okay. So this is the diodes when this is the when the negative half cycle is applied. Negative half cycle is applied. This becomes as positive. This terminal becomes as positive, and this terminal becomes as negative. So positive way, if you go positive way, the diode D3 conducts. Okay, and the current flows through the RL, and reaches this point. Remaining two diodes will be off because those two becomes as reverse bias. In the reverse bias, diode should be acts as open circuit. That's why this there is no connection in this path. In these two paths, there is no connection. That's why the current will be flows in through this way and reaches the D1. So like this, we have the bridge rectifier produces the positive half cycles only. Positive half cycles only. In the previous case, also same. So this is positive and this is negative. So in the positive terminal, positive half cycle, input is positive half cycle. This here the input also same positive half cycle. It is positive and negative with respect to B point, and this becomes as forward bias, and the current flows through this diode and reaches the resistor RL, and also coming to this point D2. D2 is also conducts, okay, and it will comes to B. So like this, the current will be flows through the resistor RL, okay, in the forward direction, the same direction. If you observe the direction which is current flowing through this RL is positive only. There is no reverse direction. That's why in both the forward, in both the
Pawan Kalyan 5064.
so in any fast half cycles, the current is flowing in the same direction, positive and negative. So that's why we will get the only positive half cycles at the output. At positive, we will get the only positive terminal, positive voltage. So if you observe this, the waveforms, so this is the input voltage, sinusoidal signal. So in the positive half cycle, D1, D2 are conducts. Okay, in the negative half cycle, D3 and D4 are conduct. According to this diagram. According to this diagram, the positive half cycle D1, D2 conducts. So in the negative half cycle, D3 and D4 will be conduct. Okay, so these are the D3, D4 conduct. So for this bridge rectifier, the equations what we are derived for the center tap full wave rectifier, these are the same as that one. Okay, the IM maximum current, maximum value of the load current, and IDC IRMS remains same as derived earlier for the full wave rectifier. Center tap rectifier what we derived, those are same. So you can also you can use these formulas. We can derive if they are asked na. So derive the IDC or EDC like that. So you have to apply the same relations what we are using for this center tapped transformer. Center tapped transformer full wave rectifier. So for the bridge rectifier, the formulas are same as the center tapped full wave rectifier. Okay. So especially there is one change. There is only one change, that is IM is equals to ESM by RS plus 2RF plus RL. So previously we have only single RF. So forward resistance of the diode, we have only single RF. Here we have 2 RF because the current is flowing through 2 diodes. So 2 diodes will have the forward resistance will be added. So that's why in the denominator of the IM we have 2 RF instead of single RF. So that is one difference, and remaining all are same. Remaining all our equations are the same. Okay. So the main advantage of the bridge rectifier circuit is, and remember this, definitely there is a question from bridge rectifier or center tap rectifier. In the final exam, you will get, final exam you will get definitely center tap full wave rectifier or bridge rectifier. Definitely they will ask operation, and also some derivations what were derived in a center tap transformer. So that will also they will ask. no doubt at all. Okay, because it is that much of important. So the current in both the primary and secondary power transformer flows for the entire cycle, and hence for a given power output, power transformer small size or less cost may be used. So no center tap is required. This is the bridge rectifier advantage. No center tap is required in the transformer secondary. Hence, whenever possible, AC voltage can directly be applied to the bridge. Whereas in the previous center tap transformer, we have to use the center tap transformer. So that is, we have to require some tappings. So in this bridge rectifier, there is no need of tappings. The current in the secondary of the transformer is in opposite direction of the two half cycles. Hence, the net DC component flowing is zero, which reduces the losses and danger of saturation. Okay. As two diodes conduct in series in each half cycle, inverse voltage appearing across the diode gets shared. Hence, the circuit can be used for high voltage applications. Such a peak reverse voltage appearing across the diode is called the peak inverse voltage rating of the diode. Peak inverse voltage, PIV. So PIV is also one of the parameter for the diode. So depending upon that, also we will consider the ratings of the diode. It is one of the ratings. The disadvantage of bridge rectifier is it's only disadvantage of it is using 4 diodes. So compared to 2 diodes in the full wave rectifier, center tap full wave rectifier. This causes additional voltage drop as indicated by the 2RF present in the expression IM instead of RF. This reduces the some output voltage. It reduces a small amount of output voltage. That is only disadvantage. So these rectifiers are used in power circuits to convert to AC to DC, and rectifiers type meters to convert the AC voltage to measure to DC voltage. So in some meters, it is required to give the value one DC voltage. Analog meters are there, and those analog meters will be converted into DC meters, direct meters. In such situation, also we can use these rectifiers. And in the power supply circuits, all the power supply circuits it will be there. And there is a comparison between the half wave, full wave, center tapped full wave, and bridge full wave rectifier circuits are given here. So, and this comparison also very important. Comparison they will also ask. Okay, so we have to remember the full wave almost same. The full wave equations almost same when compared to half wave. Okay, so if you remember the full wave values, so it is easy to get the half wave rectifier because it is half of that one. Okay, that is, for example, the average DC current is for full wave rectifier is 2 Im by pi. So for the half wave rectifier, this Im by pi only 2 will cancel because this is the half wave only. So like this we have. So like this we have a comparison. AC power, what we are derived in equations, DC power output, RMS current, okay, and ripple factor, ripple frequency, this will comes, okay, and efficiency is also important. So the efficiency of the full wave rectifier is 81.2%, whereas the half wave rectifier is 40.6% only. So you will get the higher efficiency by using the both full wave rectifiers circuits, bridge and center taper circuits. And ripple factor is also decreased. So whereas in half wave rectifier it is 1.21, so for the full wave rectifier it is 0.48. So ripples were decreased. Ripples were decreased. Okay. So the next concept is filter circuits. Filter circuits. So why we have to use the filter circuits? So from the rectifier circuit output, the output of the rectifier is a pulsating DC. So actually input is the AC input. For the rectifier, input is the AC input. It converts the pulsating DC. These are called as ripples. Okay. So it contains the AC component as well as the DC component. The pulsating DC consists of both AC components and DC components. Alternating and constant components should be present. Okay, to convert pulsating DC into pure DC, we use the filter circuits. To convert the pulsating DC into pure DC, it is a straight line. So previously it is a pulsating. Okay, this is called pulsating AC, and to convert into pure DC, we use the filter circuits. So filter circuits makes the pulsating DC into pure DC circuits. Okay, so in this there are 4 types of filter circuits are there. So inductor filter circuit, capacitor filter circuit, LC or L section filter, CLC or pi type filter. Okay, so most of the cases they will use the capacitor filter is the beneficial. Okay, most of the cases use the usual filter type is the C type or capacitor filter. Okay, here okay, so in this we have to connect the inductor. If we connect the inductor to the inductor as the filter, so it will be connected as a series type. Series. How we can explain? That is. Suppose if we are using an inductor, so it will be connected in series with the circuit. So this is the inductor filter. Okay, so and the capacitors are always connected in the shunt. The capacitors are connected in the shunt. Okay, so if we use the inductor and resistor combination, it is inductor filter. Okay, or we can call it a choke filter. Choke filter. Instead of inductor, if we use the capacitor, so then it is a capacitor input filter or capacitor filter. Capacitor filter. And this is RL. So one more clarity I want to give some clarity about this one. So here the for the inductor we have impedance. So impedance is nothing but it's like a resistor. So impedance is represented by the letter Z. So it is impedance of an inductor is given by XL. XL is equals to it is 2 pi FL XL omega. Okay, so omega is equals to 2 pi F. So this is This is omega L. So whereas omega is equals to 2 pi f. 2 pi f is the frequency. F is the frequency. So the impedance of the inductor coil will be changes depending upon the frequency component. Suppose we apply the AC. So AC is having some frequency. Suppose assume that applying 50 Hz frequency is applied. Okay, 50 Hz frequency is applied. So then it is having impedance values. So impedance is nothing but the resistance. It is opposition to the flow of the current. Okay, so this flow of the current will be changes depending upon the applied frequency. If the F is equals to 0, frequency is equals to, then impedance is 0. Impedance is 0. If the frequency is 50 or frequency is increased, then impedance will be increases. It means for frequency 0 means it is DC. For DC voltages, the frequency is 0. For AC signals, we have certain frequency value. Okay, so for DC value, this is frequency 0, then impedance is 0. So it means it will allows the DC. Inductor will be allows the DC and blocks the AC. Remember this one. Inductor coil will be allows the DC and blocks the AC. Okay. Similarly, for the capacitance, we have XC or ZC is equals to 1 by 2 pi f into C. XC is equals to 1 by 2 pi into C. So for this, with the frequency f is equals to 0, or frequency f is equals to 0, what happens? It is 0 means this is infinity. Infinity. Okay, it will provide infinity impedance. Okay, it means it blocks the DC. For capacitor, blocks the DC. And if the frequency is there, some high frequency is there, then impedance will be decreases. It means it allows the AC. It allows AC. Okay, the capacitor will blocks the DC and allows AC, whereas the inductor coil will be blocks the AC and allows the DC. So depending upon this,